30 and 39. For letter E, the variable is your greatest common factor because it appears in both terms. So your F would be outside the parentheses times 11 plus 15. For letter F, if you look again, you notice that your variable is the thing that both terms have in common. So your H goes outside of the parentheses. So it's H times the sum of 18 plus 13. Letter G, if I look at the numbers 55 and 11, then I know that's what I'm going to be finding a greatest common factor of. I have an M here for my term, but I don't have anything next to my 11. So if I do my greatest common factor of 11 and 55, it is 11. So 11 is outside my parentheses. So I have 5M plus 1 because I remember that I have to take 11 times 5 for 55M and 11 times 1 for 11. 7 plus 56y, my greatest common factor is 7. 7 divides into 7 and 56. It divides into 7 one time, so I'm going to start out with a 1 inside my parentheses. 1 plus 8y, because 7 times 8y would give me 56y. The last thing that we're going to be doing is evaluating the expressions below, which means we're going to be putting in the numbers that go into, that we're replacing, the variables with, and then evaluating those expressions. So we're just going to do A and B. So it tells us that 6x plus 21y and 3 times 2x plus 7y. So those are equivalent expressions. So we want to replace the x and the y with the numbers that it's giving us. X is 3 and y is 4. So if we wrote those out with the x and the y, they would look like this. And then we would solve just like we have learned. So using our order of operations, we're going to do multiplication first. So 6 times 3 is 18. I know that. Plus 21 times 4 would be 84. Then I would add 18 plus 84, and my answer would be 102. So we want to see, are we going to get the same answer over here when we've plugged in those variables as well? So obviously I do parentheses first, so I'm going to have 3 inside my parentheses. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 7 times 4 is 28, so I should have in my parentheses 3 times the sum of 6 plus 28. 6 plus 28 is 34, so then I would have 3 times 34. And 3 times 34 is 102. So I find out that I come up with the same answer even when I'm replacing the x and the y with a certain number. And that's what we want to make sure. They wouldn't be equivalent expressions if that wasn't true. So try letter B on your own, just replacing that G that you see with a 6, and then check your work with the video. So you should have gotten 72 for both answers. When you replaced G with 6, you should have come up with 72 for both answers because they are equivalent expressions. When you finish this far, please raise your hand so that I can check all your work, make sure your book is open so I can check that you've done the whole lesson, and then I'll let you know what to do next.